Revenge films.
My name is Ariel, and I live with my husband, Sean. I got married to Sean at the age of 24, and I've been having a great life since the day that I met him. But before that, my life was quite a roller coaster. I lost both of my parents in an accident when I was still a small child. Since I didn't have any relatives that I could take care of me, I ended up in an orphanage. I lived at the orphanage until I graduated from high school. As soon as I graduated from high school, I began to work and rented out a small apartment with the money that I earned. I had no one to turn to, so I didn't have the option of going to college. I had to get a job to pay for my living expenses. At the age of 18, I began to work in the kitchen of a restaurant during the day, and in the evenings, I would work at a convenience store. After 3 years of working at the restaurant, the owner hired me as a full-time employee of his company. I also got a culinary degree and worked at the restaurant until I got married to Sean. When I quit the restaurant, all my coworkers wished me a happy life with my husband. Sean was an employee at a mid-sized company, and I became a housewife after we got married. We both love kids, so we couldn't wait for the arrival of our own children. We've been married for 2 years now, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to get pregnant yet. Sean told me not to worry and that it would happen naturally. He didn't want me to stress about not being able to get pregnant. I tried not to worry, but I did. I thought that there might be something wrong with me. Another reason I was stressed was due to Sean's mother, who was pressuring me to get pregnant. My mother-in-law was a 20-minute car drive away. She would often come over to our house on the weekends. I think that she had a lot of time on her hands because she would call me frequently. And every time, she made it a point to ask me if I'd gotten pregnant yet. Oh no, it's Sean's mother again. Hello?
Ariel, how are you, my dear?
I'm good. May I ask what this is regarding?
I'm just checking to see how you are doing in getting pregnant. Isn't it about time that you consulted with a fertility clinic?
Yes, it's taking longer than we expected. We've been looking into some fertility clinics as an option.
Is it possible that you're infertile? I think that you're starting to run out of time.
Perhaps, but I think that there's a higher possibility that I'm not.
Sean agreed to marry you despite your upbringing, but if you can't give him any children, what use do we have for you?
Please don't say that. Sean and I got married because we are in love. We'd love to have children, but that is not what defines our marriage.
What will my neighbors think? If you can't give me any grandchildren, they'll question Sean's taste in women.
I don't think that your neighbors care about Sean's marriage.
I'm hanging up now. I'm going out to lunch with some friends. I expect some good news the next time that we speak.
Sean's mother always called me to insult me and make me feel bad. She wasn't supportive at all. Whenever I saw her name pop up onto the screen of my phone, I felt very distressed. I bet she was one of the reasons why I couldn't get pregnant. And to make matters worse, she only acted cruel to me when Sean wasn't there. Whenever she came over to our house on the weekends and Sean was there, she was really nice and pretended to be a caring mother-in-law to me.
When's my mother getting here? Oh, she's here. Let me get the door.
Sean, nice to see you. How have you been? And Ariel, you look wonderful as always. Thank you for having me over today.
Hello, nice to see you too. Please come in.
Thank you.
Whenever my mother-in-law came over, she brought us a ton of gifts.
I brought you some fresh fish at the market this morning. And here's a gift that I bought you when I went on a weekend trip with some of my friends.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you.
Sorry, I need to take this. It's a work call.
Okay.
I came over to check to see if you were pregnant, but I'm disappointed to see that you're not. How long are you going to make me wait for my first grandchild?
I hope that it won't be much longer.
Sean could have done so much better for himself. Why did he have to marry an orphan? Perhaps you're infertile because you didn't get all the nutrients that you needed, growing up in an orphanage and all.
You don't need to worry. I'm not infertile.
Then what are you waiting for? I want a grandchild. How many times do I have to tell you that? Are you two even trying? Sean probably isn't attracted to you enough to make love to you. You need to try to be more like me. I'm not young, but men of all ages still find me attractive.
Sorry, that took longer than I expected. What were you two talking about?
Just some fun girl talk.
I see. It makes me happy to see you two get along well.
That day, Sean's mother stayed at our house until dinner. I was annoyed that I had to spend the entire day with her. It wasn't fun for me at all. I've been wanting to tell Sean that his mother treats me unfairly when he's not looking, but I didn't know how. That day, I recorded my conversation with his mother, hoping that I would be able to make good use of it later. I wanted to tell Sean about his mother and stop stressing about it on my own. I got up the courage to tell him what was going on. When Sean heard the recording of the conversation between his mother and I, he was furious. He called his mother right away to ask her why she was doing this.
Mom, why have you been pressuring Ariel to get pregnant behind my back? You're bullying her, and I won't allow it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sean.
You can't deny it. I heard what you said to Ariel today about growing up poor and being infertile because of it. You don't know what you're talking about.
Sean said all that he wanted to and then hung up the phone on his mother. Now that Sean knew, I had hoped that the bullying from his mother would come to a stop. But actually, it got worse, and I hadn't expected any of it. After Sean yelled at his mother, she was on her best behavior for about a month, but things started to change after that. Just as I was getting used to my new life of not getting bullied, something wonderful happened. I was pregnant with my first child. I was so excited and I cried tears of joy. Sean was over the moon too, and I saw that he had tears in his eyes too. Sean was still upset with his mother for what she had done to me, but he couldn't keep the happy news from her. The following weekend after we found out that we were pregnant, we went over to his parents' house to share the good news. Both of his parents welcomed us into their home. My father-in-law owned a small company and he was very busy with work, which is why we seldom got to see him. When we told them that we were pregnant, they were thrilled. I was relieved to see that my mother-in-law was beaming. That evening, his parents ordered us some sushi and we had a family celebration. Sean got carried away and had a few too many drinks. We drove home the following morning. During my first trimester, I experienced morning sickness and stayed home a lot. There were times when I didn't feel like getting up from the couch, but I did make an effort to go grocery shopping every day. I still wanted to welcome Sean with a homemade meal after he got back from a long day's work. One day, as I was on my way home from the supermarket, I saw Sean's mom lining up in front of a casino. She was talking to a man that I didn't recognize. I didn't know what to make of it, so I decided to take a photo of the two of them from across the street with my smartphone and sent it to Sean. Sean didn't recognize the man in the photo either and seemed perplexed. He didn't understand why his mother would go gambling with a mysterious man. It seemed irresponsible, he said. We decided not to pursue the matter any further. I was now 4 months pregnant. Recently, I looked forward to the weekends when Sean and I would go shopping for baby goods together. But one weekend, Sean told me that he had to work, and so I had to figure out a way to entertain myself.
I'm sorry, but I have to work this weekend.
I see. Don't worry about it. I can still go shopping on my own.
My mom tells me that my relatives are going over to her house this weekend. Why don't we pop in and see everyone? My cousin will be there too.
Are you referring to your cousin who lived overseas for a while?
Yep, that's the one. You should talk to him. He's fun. I'll try to come home as soon as possible, and we can drive down there together. I want you to meet my cousin.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. I knew how much Sean liked his cousin because he would talk about him a lot. Sean hadn't seen his cousin in a long time, so he seemed really excited about reuniting with his cousin. I was also looking forward to meeting the cousin that Sean raved about all the time. That weekend, Sean got up early to go to work.
I'm off, Ariel.
Have a nice day, sweetie. I'll see you this evening.
You're pale this morning. Are you feeling okay?
Feel a little nauseous, but I'm okay. I'll take it easy this morning and rest.
Okay. I'll come home as soon as I can. We don't have to go to my parents' place if you're still not feeling well later in the day.
I think that I'll be okay. Thank you, though.
Okay, I need to get going. See you later.
See you! After I saw Sean off, I went to the living room to lie down on the couch. I was experiencing morning sickness and I didn't feel great, but I knew how much Sean was looking forward to seeing his cousin, and so I wanted to try to get better. At noon, I was feeling much better. I had a small lunch but ended up throwing it all up. I tried to rest as much as possible until Sean got home. At 3 in the afternoon, I slowly got up and started to get ready to go out with Sean. He could be home any minute now. I then received a phone call from Sean's mother. Hello?
Hello, Ariel. I have a favor to ask of you.
Okay.
Would you mind making some Ars d'Avour for 15 people and delivering it to my house by 5 p.m. today?
That only gives me 2 hours to prepare. I'm not sure if that'll be enough time. And I need to go grocery shopping for the ingredients first.
But I already told everyone that you'd be bringing over Ars d'Avour before dinner. Sean told you that his cousin is here, right? He just moved back from overseas. We need to make sure that he is well taken care of.
I wish that you had asked me earlier. Then I would have had time to prepare. It's too last minute.
I wanted to make them myself, but I was busy doing other things. You understand that, don't you? Well, if you can't bring over the hors d'oeuvre, you'll just make Sean look bad in front of his relatives. I'm sure that you don't want that for him.
But,
And don't just buy something from the store. It needs to be home cooked. I need to go now. Bye. Everyone, Ariel will be bringing over some delicious homemade hors d'oeuvre.
wait, I can't. But Sean's mother hung up the phone on me. I tried to call Sean at work to get his advice, but he didn't pick up. I didn't know what to do. I knew how much Sean was looking forward to tonight, and I didn't want to let him down. I decided to do as Sean's mother instructed me to, and if I got the job done perfectly, I was going to confront her in front of her relatives. I rushed to the supermarket to buy the ingredients. Then I went home as fast as I could and started cooking. I was in such a deep concentration that I'd forgotten all about my morning sickness. I'd already spent 30 minutes grocery shopping, so I didn't have a minute to waste. I knew that no matter how fast I cooked, I wasn't going to make it to Sean's parents' house by 5. I was almost finished with the preparations when I received another phone call from Sean's mother.
Ariel, it's 5 o'clock. When are you getting here with the hors d'oeuvre? We're all waiting.
They're almost done, and I'll bring them over as soon as Sean comes home from work.
If they're almost done, bring them over yourself. You don't need to wait for Sean. I don't want to keep my guests waiting.
I'm pregnant and I can't overexert myself. I already used enough energy going grocery shopping and preparing these hors d'oeuvre.
Why are you making such a big deal out of this? This is one of the few opportunities to prove to everyone that you're worthy of being Sean's wife.
Sean's mother was being cruel to me, and I didn't know why. I was pregnant. Shouldn't she finally be happy with me? I was so upset that I started crying. I must have overexerted myself because after that, I began to feel dizzy and I passed out on the floor. From a distance, I heard the sound of our front door opening.
Ariel, I'm home! Are you feeling better? Ariel? Ariel, are you okay? Can you hear me?
I could hear Sean's voice, but I was too weak to respond. The next time that I awoke, I was lying on a hospital bed.
Ariel, you're awake! How are you feeling?
I'm okay. What happened to me? Is our baby okay?
You're suffering from anemia, but our baby's just fine.
I'm so relieved to hear that.
Why were you cooking all that food? You didn't have to go to so much trouble. I knew that you weren't feeling well.
I told Sean about what his mother had said to me earlier. I was crying again. At first, Sean was speechless, but then he said to me,
I'm going to go over to my parents' place and deliver the food that you prepared for everyone. The doctor recommended that you spend the night at the hospital, so stay hydrated and get some rest. I'll see you again tomorrow morning.
After that, Sean left the hospital. The following morning, I was feeling much better and rested. The doctor told me that it was common to get anemia during pregnancy and that I didn't need to worry too much. Sean came to pick me up and we went home together. I apologized to Sean for not taking better care of my pregnant body. I'm sorry for all the trouble that I caused you, Sean.
It wasn't your fault, Ariel. You don't need to apologize for anything.
Did you get to spend some time with your cousin in the end?
Yes, I did. We had a nice meal with the hors d'oeuvres that you made for us. Everyone loved your cooking and told me that they would love to see you and our baby the next time.
Did your mother say anything about me?
Nope. She moved out of the house, actually.
She moved out? What do you mean?
Yesterday, I took the recording of your conversation between you and my mother from before and played it to all of our relatives. They were horrified and disgusted with my mother for what she did to you. Hi, everyone! Sorry I'm late. Hey, Sean! Long time no see! We've all been waiting for you! Did you have to work today?
Ariel was supposed to bring over some hors d'oeuvre tonight, but I couldn't get in touch with her, so we ended up ordering takeout.
Mom, how could you make Ariel do all that work by herself and so last minute? Do you know what that did to her?
Sean, why are you so angry with me?
You know why! You forced her to prepare hors d'oeuvres for 15 people tonight, and you only gave her 2 hours to prepare! Ariel did as you told her to, but in the end, she got so sick that she passed out! Is this true? I thought that you were going to buy the hors d'oeuvres at a delicatessen. I gave you the money for it, didn't I?
And I gave that money to Ariel.
You're lying! What's going on? I want an explanation. You never gave her any money! Mom has been bullying Ariel this entire time. She would tell Ariel that she didn't have a good upbringing and tell her that she didn't deserve to be my wife. Did you really say that?
Of course not. Sean's making this all up. I have no reason to be mean to Ariel.
Sean, are you sure that this isn't a big misunderstanding? I have the evidence right here. What is this recording of? What's going on? Why are you being so cruel to Ariel? What has she ever done to you to deserve this?
I don't know what that is.
You can't deny any of it, because I can tell from the recording that you are in fact bullying Ariel. And what did you do with the money that I gave you to buy the food? I bet she gambled it all. Gambling? You gamble?
I don't know what Sean is talking about. He's making this all up. You have to believe me.
Look, I have a photo of you in front of a casino. And who's the guy that you're talking to? I can't believe that you would go behind Dad's back and go gambling with some random guy. You're despicable! You have some explaining to do.
I can't believe that you took a photo of me without my permission. What you did is unforgivable. That's not even me. It's just another woman that looks very similar to me.
I know that it's you. Stop making up such ridiculous lies. No one believes anything that comes out of your mouth. I want you to pack up your things and move out of this house.
We've been married for over 30 years and I've been nothing but a good wife to you. How could you kick me out like this? What am I supposed to do about money? Where will I live? I don't have a job.
This is all your fault, and I don't care if you're broke. You made your own bed. Deal with it. I'm leaving you and filing for a divorce.
A divorce? Please don't do that. What am I going to do without you? This is all a big misunderstanding. Let's talk this through before we make any rash decisions.
Sean, I had no idea that you were going through all this. And poor Ariel. Yes, my mom's been really difficult.
Wow, I had no idea that all that happened while I was in the hospital. What did your mother do in the end?
She had no choice but to move out. My father is adamant about getting a divorce. We won't be seeing her anymore. So you have nothing to worry about. I'm sorry that my mother mistreated you like this.
It's not your fault, and you stood up for me. So, thank you. Sean's father hired a private investigator and found out that his wife had been cheating on him. He also found out that his wife had been spending a lot of his hard-earned money on gambling. After their divorce was finalized, Sean's mother was not allowed back into the house that she had lived in for so many years. Sean's mother didn't have a place to live, and with no job, she struggled to pay the alimony payment she owed to her ex-husband. She borrowed money from a loan shark and spent the rest of her life paying back her debts. Sean also sued his mother for abusing me emotionally. Sean's mother's lover broke up with her after he realized that he couldn't get money from her anymore. She had no choice but to live a very lonely life in a shabby apartment in a bad neighborhood. A little while later, I gave birth to a healthy boy. For my son's 3-month birthday, we had a family gathering at Sean's father's house. I cooked for Sean's relatives again because they all said that they wanted me to cook for them again. They loved my food. This time, I was able to sit down and get to know Sean's cousin, and we all had a great time. Although Sean lost touch with his mother, his father's house became a cheerful place for relatives to gather. I had some tough times in my life, but I'm grateful about having a loving husband that is always looking out for me. And with the arrival of our son, we couldn't be happier.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.